So we hear all this talk about Web3, this new decentralized internet built on the blockchain, where we, the users, are finally in control. But there's this huge wall that's stopping it from going mainstream. Let's break down what that wall is, and more importantly, how we can tear it down.
You know, if you've ever tried to set up a crypto wallet or use a decentralized app and just felt completely lost, you are not alone. So the real question for so many of us is, why does this next big thing, this future of the web, feel so complex and kind of intimidating?
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the incredible promise of Web3, decentralization, true user ownership, amazing innovation. But on the other hand, the reality for most people right now, it's just complex, it feels risky, and honestly, it's pretty confusing. So, how do we bridge that gap?
Well, what's the answer? And it's probably not what you'd think. It's not about more complex tech or more features. It's about better, more thoughtful, user-centered design. Design is the key that's going to unlock Web3 for everybody.
So, what are we really talking about here? Well, you can think of Web3 UI/UX design as basically a translation service. It takes all that complicated blockchain stuff, we're talking transactions, smart contracts, private keys, and it translates it into experiences that are clear, intuitive, and, this is the most important part, build trust. And check out the keywords here: clear, usable, and scalable. This isn't just about making things look pretty. It's a whole strategy. It's about taking this incredible complexity and simplifying it so that Web3 can finally move from being a niche hobby to a tool that everyone can use.
Okay, so if design is the solution, how does it actually work? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a methodical, proven process that can take a product from a super complex idea to a simple, elegant tool. Let's walk through it.
Just like building a house, you can't just start throwing up walls and hope for the best, right? It all has to start with a solid plan, a blueprint that's going to guide every single decision you make along the way.
So here's the first part of that roadmap. It kicks off by asking the big questions. Why are we building this, and who are we building it for? That's product discovery and user research. Once you know what people actually need, you create an experience strategy to map out the simplest path for them. From there, it's all about structure. Information mapping organizes the chaos. Wireframing builds the skeleton, and only then do you get the visual design, which puts the skin on it all and creates that feeling of clarity and trust.
And the process doesn't stop there. Next comes interaction design. That's all the smooth animations and responsive clicks that make an app just feel right. Then comes an absolutely crucial step: usability testing. This is where you put the design in front of real people to see what works and what doesn't, so you can fix things early. And finally, the polished design is handed off to the developers to actually bring it to life.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but what does this methodical approach actually look like when you apply it to the real world? Let's take a look at how this process can transform some notoriously confusing Web3 products into something you can actually use.
All right, first up, the crypto wallet. For a lot of people, this is ground zero. It's their very first step into the world of Web3, and it's often the place they get totally stuck. It's a massive design challenge.
I mean, look at the hurdles designers have to clear here. We're not just talking about button colors. We're talking about really fundamental questions of security. How do you explain a seed phrase, that super long, unhackable password, to a total beginner without scaring them off for good? How do you make security feel empowering instead of terrifying? Good design has to solve all of this.
And this is the bottom line. The design has to do all the heavy lifting. It's got to simplify things, cut down on those scary errors, and build a deep sense of trust. And it has to work just as well for an absolute beginner as it does for a seasoned crypto pro.
Let's tackle another beast, a DeFi or decentralized finance dashboard. If crypto wallets are about keeping your stuff safe, DeFi is all about managing incredibly complex financial data and making some pretty critical decisions.
The whole puzzle here is about making complicated financial info easy to digest. How do you show market trends in a way that someone can understand at a glance? A decision-driven UI, for example, is all about reducing that mental overload, only showing you the info you need right now so you can make a fast, smart trade without being paralyzed by data. The whole point is to empower you, not just drown you in numbers.
Okay, so we've seen the process, we've seen some real-world examples, but what's the ultimate payoff? Why should a Web3 project invest so much time and money into user experience? Well, the benefits are real, and they are powerful. First and foremost, you get faster user adoption.
It's pretty simple, really. When an app is intuitive and easy to use, it just lowers that barrier to entry. More people are going to be willing to give it a shot, and way more people are going to stick around.
Second, and this is so critical, in a world known for scams and hacks, it builds stronger user trust. It's actually a psychological thing. We're kind of hardwired to believe that what is beautiful is good. A clean, professional-looking design signals that this is a legit and competent operation, which makes users feel way more secure and confident.
And finally, it all leads back to the bottom line, a higher return on investment. A better user experience means people are more engaged, they stick around longer, and that ultimately makes for a much more successful product.
So when you pull it all together, you see it's not just a list of separate benefits. It's this powerful feedback loop. Clear flows lead to faster adoption, which builds stronger trust. That means fewer people give up and leave, which allows the product to grow. And it all culminates in a better ROI for the business. It's a whole ecosystem of success built on that foundation of good design. We've covered a lot of ground here, from the big problem with Web3 to the detailed process for solving it. So after all that, what is the one big idea you should walk away with?
Here it is. The key takeaway is this. In Web3, good design isn't just a pretty layer of paint. It's fundamental. It's the infrastructure. It is the bridge that is going to carry millions of us, from the familiar web we use today to the exciting frontier of Web3, making sure that this future is open and accessible to absolutely everyone.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've seen how design is starting to untangle the blockchain. So it makes you wonder, what other complex, world-changing technology is out there right now, just waiting for one great design to unlock its potential for the rest of us?